Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, Ramir Boulder. Atin pong tatalakayin ah, ang ulat, ang breaking. Sino ang nasa likod ng Team Itim? Yun pong mga tinutukoy po rito, yung mga kabataang nakasuot ng itim na naghasik ng kaguluhan dito sa Recto, dito sa may Ayala Bridge na nakasuot po sila ng itim at nakabonet ng itim at naka-face mask. Nagka imbis na mapayapa ang gawin nilang rally, sila po ay nanggulo. May mga usap-usapan po kasi na ito ay funded daw po. Ayon po kay Mayor Isko, funded po ito ng isang dating politiko na Filipino-Chinese. Hindi natin alam kung sinong Filipino-Chinese ito at dating politiko. At kasalukuyan pa pong bini-verify. Nangangalap pa po ng ebidensya kung sino sino po ang nasa likod ng kaguluhang ito. Kasi hindi po talaga ito tanggap. Kasi nga may mga taong nasa likod ng malawakang gulong ito kahapon. Hindi kagaya ng mga rally dito sa EDSA at saka dito sa Luneta, wala namang ganitong kaguluhan. Bukod tangi lang po ito itong nandito sa mga mga kabataang nanggulo dito sa Ayala Bridge, sa Recto, at saka dito sa Mindiola. Dito naman sa Recto, yung mga establishmento po rito, pinagsisira nila, mayroon pa silang sinirang, nagbandalize sila. Magulo po talaga. Ito po yung panayam kay ating butihing Yusek Claire Castro. Ito po.
At si acting PNP chief. Maaari na po mag-start si Secretary Henry Aguda.
Magandang umaga po. Salamat po, Yusek Claire. Magandang hapon po. Una sa lahat, malinaw ang direktiba ng Pangulo.
Ito po ay Secretary Aguda ng DICT.
Igalang at protektahan ang karapatan ng bawat Pilipino sa mapayapang pagtitipon at malayang pagpapahayag.
Payapang pagtitipon at malayang mamamahayag. Ito po ang motivation. Pero ang nangyari magulong pagtitipon.
Kaugnay nito, nitong weekend nagkaroon ng malawakang kilos protesta. Kabilang ang tinatawag na Black Mass March. Ito yung mga team itim na nasabi nga ni Yusek Claire. Ito ay unang kumalat mula sa grupong Anonymous PH. Ito po isang aktibong hacktivist na grupo. Nakikipag-ugnayan po ako doon sa mga tao sa Anonymous PH. Hindi pa po sila nagdi-disavow kung sila nga o hindi sila yung gumawa nito. Pero may mga persons of interest na po tayo na minamatyagan.
Mayroon daw na pong person of interest. Kung sino-sino itong mga to ay dapat malaman talaga para mapanagot sa malawak na kaguluhan kahapon.
Nagsimula ng panawagang magsuot ng itim na maskara at damit na sinasabayan ng ilang personalidad at grupo sa social media. Nakikipag-ugnayan na rin po kami sa social media platforms para dito sa mga personalidad na ito. Kasabay ng mga aktibidad na ito, aktibong pinagtutupad ng DICT ang Oplan Cyberdome bilang isang whole of country approach sa cybersecurity. Sa ilalim nito, may mahigpit na koordinasyon sa mga law enforcement agencies para sa mabilis na tugon sa anumang online to ground na banta. Ito po yung mga nag-organize sa online tapos nanggugulo physically. Pangalawa po, katuwang ang mga telco at social media platforms sa pagbabantay laban sa posibleng paggamit ng internet para sa karahasan. Aktibong nakilahok ang cyber community rin po at mga pribadong cybersecurity groups upang tiyakin ang seguridad ng ating digital space. Nakapag-ugnayan din tayo sa mga pangunahing pribadong korporasyon po sa bangko, sa enerhiya, sa tubig, transportasyon at lahat po ng kanilang cybersecurity organization na teams ay nakilahok naman po na protektahan ng cyberspace. Ngayon po, noong weekend po, mula do sa Threat Monitoring Center po natin sa CICC, yung same organization po na nagbanday din po noong midterm election, nakita po namin na as of 2 p.m. po, wala po kaming nakitang convergence. Convergence po ng mga grupo na nag-oorganisa sa online at on the ground. Nanatili pong mapayapa ang mga rally at walang naitalagang ground to online convergence. Subalit po, may naitala po kami, 19 na website ng gobyerno ang naka-experience po ng defacement. Ibig sabihin po, kinuha yung website, binago, pero mabilis naman pong nakapag-react ang mga government agencies po. Para po mailagay natin sa perspective yung 19. Yung 19 po out of almost 60,000 apps and website ng bansa. So, maliit lang po yung naging epekto nito. Walang naitalang matagumpay na cyber breach din po mula sa overseas o tinatawag po nating nation-state actors. Ligtas at maayos ang lahat ng critical government systems. Bagamat may ilang insidente ng karahasan sa lansangan gaya ng pagsunog ng sasakyan, paghagis ng bato, molotov, napanatili ng pamahalaan ang kontrol sa sitwasyon sa tulong ng kapulisan at mga katuwang na ahensya. Sa kabuuan, pinatunayan ng pamahalaan na epektibo ang Oplan Cyberdome at ang matibay na kooperasyon ng DICT, law enforcement, telcos, social media platforms, cyber community at pribadong sektor. Pinakita po natin na kaya nating igalang ang malayang pagpapahayag habang sabay-sabay na pinapangalagahan ang kapayapaan upang siguradong maligtas po ang lahat. Magpatuloy po ang ating monitoring at patuloy din po ang pagbibigay namin ng update sa inyo. Maraming salamat po, Yusek Claire. Nandito po ako para sumagot ng mga tanong mamaya po.
Secretary Johnny Crevillard, DILG. Secretary Mulya, sorry po.
Hindi ako tumayo eh. Good morning. As of 11 a.m. yesterday, the President and I were in touch constantly every 20 minutes to assess the situation. He was in a secure facility inside the compound, monitoring every single step. At approximately 2 p.m., while I was at the command center in Camp Crame, he called me and asked me to personally assess the threat level that was going on in Ayala Bridge. The anarchist burned a container truck that was put by the PSG to block the entrance of the Ayala Bridge.
Ang sinasabi po dito ni Secretary Remulla, yung pong pangyayari kahapon na sinunog po yung container van dito sa Ayala Bridge. Corner po ito ng Ayala Bridge, corner, Romualdez.
Subsequently, at around 3:30, the corner of Mendiola and Ligarda, I think, at 3:30, a crowd of approximately 5,000 converged at that corner. The President's directive very explicitly stated that the PNP shall act with maximum tolerance. And with maximum tolerance, they only had their riot gear and no firearms. I repeat, the approximately 4,000 policemen deployed to contain the rally had no firearms on them, except for the SWAT group that was in the vicinity. The purpose of having no firearms is because when you engage a crowd, the chances of your firearm being pulled from you and being used against you is very high. Having said that, number one, there was no discharge of weapon from any PNP official. I repeat, there was no discharge of weapon. Number two, there was no tear gas used by the PNP. All the soldiers, all the policemen behind had instructions, use maximum tolerance. So they had no tear gas and they had no firearms. Number three, only when the mob were throwing Molotov cocktails did the police push back. That crossed the line. When rocks were thrown, you could shield yourself. But Molotov cocktails crosses the line. That can cause death.
Ito yung mga pinagtatapon nila ng Molotov ng mga protester na nagwawala, na mga wala sa ayos, yung mga utak adik at utak talangkang mga nagsunog ng container van.
Having said that, the police pushing back using maximum tolerance. And one by one, they were apprehending the characters who were throwing rocks, Molotov cocktails, or engaging them physically. After the arrest, after all of that had been said and done, the protest subsided at around 5:30 p.m., after which we ascertained that the following happened. There was an arrest of, let me get this straight, 216 individuals, 216, comprising of 127
216 individuals, yun mga nahuli ng PNP kahapon na mga nanggugulong mga kabataan dito sa rally dito sa Mendiola, dito sa Ligarda, at dito sa Ayala Bridge.
7 adults and 89 minors. The minors
Ang dami yung minors, 89.
were characterized as following. 65 were children in conflict with the law and 24 children at risk. What is the difference? Children in conflict with the law is 15 to 17. Children at risk is 14 and below. Of the 216 that were arrested, we'd also like to report that 95 PNP personnel were wounded. 95. Some of them serious, requiring medical attention. They were brought to the PSG station here in Malacca.
Marami kasing mga pulis na nasugatan dito sa kaguluhan dito. Sa kaguluhan kahapon dito sa sa Ligarda, sa May Recto.
and also to the PNP General Hospital for further treatment. Now, I would like to commend the PNP for their performance yesterday. They acted according to law. They acted according to instructions. I would like to debunk the rumors going around that someone died, that there was a death. There were zero casualties. I repeat, there were zero casualties.
Wala pong casualty sa mga nangyari. Ayon sa paliwanag po ni DILG Secretary Remulla.
Spreading around in social media is fake news. There were, however, people who got hurt. None of the protesters were seriously hurt. I repeat, none. By seriously, I mean that they would have to be hospitalized. The police got hurt more than the protesters. And that is something notable to everyone. Nakakaawa po ang mga pulis natin. Binuhusan ng tubig galing sa kanal. Binato ng hollow block.
Yung mga tubig galing daw sa kanal, tapos may nambato pa ng hollow blocks. Kalukuhan talaga itong mga protester na to.
Till that binato ang Molotov cocktail. Nasusunog sa tabi nila.
May
Pero
Molotov
ganun
cocktail
naman,
pa.
ginamit na dahas laban sa mga realista. Sayang naman ang efforts ng buong Pilipinas na nagprotesta. The 65 or so thousand that protested and aired their grievances, which the president.
Oh no, talagang sayang kasi yung effort ng mga nagprotesta dito sa shrine na wala namang kaguluhan, purely protesta talaga sa korupsyon. Hindi kagaya nitong mga ginawa ng mga lukulukong mga batang to, panggugulo, pang-uudyok ng kaguluhan.
Duly respected their right to do so. Their right to grievance was marred by maybe a group of 1,000 hooligans who wanted nothing but to spread anarchy. The first children in conflict with the law interviewed said that they had intended to burn the palace. However, you cannot take that.
May intention daw po itong mga nanggulo na sunugin ang palasyo. Buti na lang may mga kapulisan doon na nakaharang dito sa Mindiola. Hindi sila nakalapit sa Malacanang Palace.
At face value, because these were children in conflict with the law and we still needed the DSWD to process them. So a full report of their intent will come out in the next few days after the interrogation of all those held. The suspects are all held at the MPD station, where they are undergoing processing. The minors are with the DSWD, are being interviewed by the DSWD.
Yung mga minor de edad nasa DSW daw po, ini-interview sila. Yung mga hindi naman nasa tamang gulang na, yun ang ini-investigate ngayon.
But to determine whether they will be tried as adults in the coming months. So that is my report for all of you. Thank you very much.
Next, we have Acting PNP Chief Lieutenant General Jose Melencio Nartates Jr.
Magandang umaga po sa ating lahat, ang ating SILG Secretary, DICT, and our spokesperson. Magandang umaga, and our press from Malacanang. Okay. Sinabi na po ng ating butihing SILG John Vic Remulla ang pangyayari. Isa lang po ang masasabi ng Philippine National Police. Ang Philippine National Police ay naghanda sa ganitong aktibidades na idinaos coinciding with the 53rd anniversary of the declaration of martial law. And with that preparation, we have utilized about 50,000 nationwide na kapulisan. Those half of it, or half of those police were in Metro Manila. And not only the personnel were used, but the different resources of the Philippine National Police, the logistics and the finances that we need to secure this activity, particularly the protest rally of individuals and group. As a whole, it turned generally peaceful, attended by about 84,000 nationwide po yun na mga protesters, divided into several groups. In Metro Manila, there are 16 areas, and in totality 130 plus areas po yun. And so those are the deployment and utilized resources of the Philippine National Police. And of course, we were supported by the different local government units. Napaka-importante po yan because of the equipment that needed, especially in responses that be needed, and especially in the contingencies na ginawa ng ating mga kapulisan, lalong-lalo na po ang ating National Capital Region and the 5 districts in Metro Manila. And with that, it is very unfortunate na meron nagkaroon po ng mga isolated incidents. That is particularly in Ayala Bridge and another 2 incidents in Mindiola. That is when the group of protesters in Luneta ay pupunta po, supposed to be papuntang It's a Shrine, where a group of marami po doon na rallyista, but they were stopped of course here in Malacanang area, particularly passing through Ayala Bridge, and more particularly 2 incidents in Mindiola. In-ensure po natin ang deployment dito, lalong-lalo na this is the seat of power. Nandito po ang kanilang pinupunteriya, nandito po ang Malacanang area. And so hindi po sila nagtagumpay sa kanilang after pinayagan po natin silang makapasok sa Mindiola at a distance, but they have pushed their way going inside. And so with that violence, so unfortunate na nagkaroon ng violence, ng bato, and so on and so forth, leading to arrest of a bunch of tignan natin terorista kung tawag doon and or word ng ating butihing secretary that breach the peace and order. Especially, kukunti lang sila. They're monitored to be about 300. It is very unfair for the rallies, particularly nandun sa Luneta and nandun sa ating EDSA Shrine and People Power Monument na napakatahimik po at nagpapasalamat kami sa kanila in the cooperation and cleansing the ranks. The
Oo.
investigation will be a
Yun naman talaga ang ang objective ng rally. Kundinahin ang anomalya, kundinahin ang mga malawakang ghost project. Kaya nga protest rally yan ng ng anomalya sa gobyerno, sa mga project, sa mga anomalya ng ghost project at sa mga flood control project. Kabaliktaran naman itong ginagawa ng mga batang to na funded daw ng di umano'y may dating politiko na Filipino-Chinese. Sino kaya yun? Yan po ang malaking katanungan kung sino yung nag-fund nito.
continuing one such that we will for sure the tracks of these 200 or 300 including the arrested personalities whether they are minors and or of legal age mapapailan po natin ng kaso. Certainly they have left tracks.
Dapat lang na filean nyo ng kaso yan mga yan kasi labag sa batas ang ginagawa nila. At saka dapat mahuli rin kung sino yung nag-funded sa kanila na politiko, dating politiko na Filipino-Chinese. Tama ba?
Sinabi na po ng ating DICT and working with the DICT at merong kapasidad din po ang Philippine National Police, certainly they have left tracks from the moment that they have committed this act during the actual rally up to the time that they were recruited for whatever purposes. Magandang umaga po.
Mali na po tumanggap ng tanong. Maricel Halili, TV5.
Okay. Hanggang dyan na lamang po muna ang ating vlog ngayon. Ano po ang inyong komento? Pakisulat na lang po. At pag-usapan po natin yan. Kung mayroon po kayong comment, doon po sa comment section. Marami pong salamat sa panunod ng aking vlog. Huwag niyo pong kalimutan mag-likes and subscribe. Salamat pong muli.